Hey Nicole, thanks for ordering the year ahead reading. Let's get in here and take a look at your little bit of astrology to get started. Okay, 1967, May. Okay, here we go. Well, yeah, that eclipse that just happened here, as I'm doing the reading in late October of 23, it was very much affecting you. I mean, it was on your sun, and it was right on your north node. Wow. Really on your north node a lot, and then on your Mercury. And then you've got some other things here too with the, the Mars is in Libra, so there's going to be eclipses in Libra. One of the big things that's coming up here next year is going to be the Jupiter's going into Gemini. So that's going to go over your Venus. So I don't think it'll be next year because it's at 21 degrees. But just the fact that Jupiter goes into Gemini, well, Jupiter's been in Taurus too, so that Jupiter's been really helping you out with that. On your north node, on your sun, all that stuff. It's all low degrees, so it's probably already pretty much all past here. Well, let's see. Let's look before I speak. Yeah, even in October here, it's past all your stuff. Well, actually, I'm wrong about that. November, it's going to be retrograding back over your sun, and it is going to retrograde back over your node in December. So one more time, this eclipse, and then these retrogrades of Jupiter. What are you doing with your life? Are you on the right path? All this kind of stuff. But then it's going to go forward, and then by February, it's going to make its last pass. So between now, late October, November, into February, Jupiter's going to be going over your sun, north node, and Mercury. Not Mercury so much, but sun and north node. But then when it gets, that's what grabbed me for you, is when the Jupiter goes to Gemini. Now it's going to hit Gemini in May, right after your birthday, end of May of 24 here. May 27th-ish or something. And, then it's going to be, it'll hit your Venus. It's going to hit your Venus in September of next year. That's a really, really cool. I mean, Jupiter's cool all the way around. And Jupiter on your sun is cool and everything. But Jupiter on your Venus, and Jupiter on your north node could really help you get clarity. But Jupiter on your Venus, the two benefics, the two bringers of luck, abundance, prosperity, love, all this good stuff. I mean, that could be super major, super major impact, major love, major money, all sorts of really cool stuff could be happening there. So, you're getting a lot of blessings from Jupiter, which is really cool and really should be really helping you out. Okay, I don't know. I know I read you a lot, but I'm not sure if you ordered the year ahead, so I'm just going to real quick tell you how this works. So it's the 4 quarters of a year, and 1, 2, 3 cards per quarter, but not specific to the month. It's not like each one is a month. It's just 3 cards that are just the overall, overall look. So, overall, not look. It's funny I said that, but the overall feeling, vibe. Okay, so for 2024, for Nicole, what's coming up for the first 3 months for Nicole? For January, February, March, we got Magician, 6 of Pentacles, and 5 of Swords. Next for April, May, June, for Nicole, April, May, June, April, May, June, April, May, June, April, May, June. 6 of Rods, the Sun, and Justice. Wow, that's really nice lineup there you got. And then we got July, August, September. July, August, September for Nicole. July, August, September. July, August, September. We got Page of Rods, 9 of Rods, and the Death card. Now this is that time when that Jupiter stuff, September. Okay, October, November, December. October, November, December. October, November, December. October, November, and December. We got 2 of Rods, 3 of Rods, and the Knight of Pentacles. This could be you. Usually I kind of stick to actual genders when I'm doing private readings like this, but I just got a feeling like that could be you. But I like how this is in succession here. 2, 3, bam. I mean, overall you got some really, this first one. What I got out of this first row, you got Magician, 6 of Rods, and then the 5 of Swords here. It feels like, well, what I get is, you're going to get residual returns on whatever effort you've been putting. What are they trying to tell me? You're going to get out of it what you put into it. But I feel like you've been putting into it a lot. Like it's not like it's a snide remark like, oh, you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. I think you've been really stroking, you know, you've really been striving. It's funny I said stroking. That's such a weird word to say too. But you've been really striving, is what I'm trying to say. Really striving, and you're going to see some results here. And I got this 1-6. Well, actually, you know, 165. I know you're born in 67, but 1-6. I almost want to say as soon as January 6th on this for this one. And it could be some long time thing that you've been really plugging away at, and you've been really plugging, you know, pushing forward with and plugging away at. So you're going to see some results, some financial rewards. You know, this is during that retrograde time with that Jupiter stuff. So this could be something that's been going on for a while, like maybe even 5 months or something like that. 5 years maybe, but I feel more like 5 months. This says focus, but I want to say you're on the cusp. Like you're on the cusp of some kind of big breakthrough or some big, you know, moment of discovery. That's what the guys want to say. But there's a payment involved. Something you've been working really hard for, you're going to get a payment. You know, you're going to get the financial acknowledgement too. April, May, June. This is probably the best row of the whole thing here. Got 6 of Rods, the Sun, and Justice. These two together talk about acknowledgement, you know. Because this can be acknowledgement, especially paired with the 6 of Rods, though. You know, I'm just looking at overall for a second here. You know, you've got this whole lot of rods. You know, look at all this orange and all these rods energy. And that's about personal growth and development, movement forward. You know, so it's going to be a year where you're going to make a lot of progress, especially with the Emperor. It's funny I said Emperor. The Magician, you know, being your first card out, like sort of setting the tone for the reading. Right off the bat, 1. So yeah, you're going to have this big, you know, 6 of Rods, triumph, victory. And then the Sun. Both of these are having like the spotlight on you, or you getting this acknowledgement or something. And then the Justice card is here. Well, Justice could be, again, I'm feeling like it's tied into all your hard work. It's going to pay off. You're finally going to get retribution, but I really feel like maybe there could be some big contract that you're going to sign at this time. And it does feel like this sort of, it's like there's this, you've reached this point. You've reached this this pinnacle, or this point, or you've reached this point, they're saying this point of no return. I don't know if I want to say that. And then I'm just hearing that song too. 1 second, I'm hearing noises. I'm hearing that song. How long to the point of no return? It's got really good keyboards. How long? So, well, maybe that's what you're saying here. How long till the point of no return? Well, probably on the 2nd quarter here. No, but this is awesome. You know, you're really standing out. And I feel like this Justice is some kind of acknowledgement for you, for you standing out. Like almost a reward or a payoff, you know, for all this stuff that you've been doing. But judging from this, I mean, this really looks like the biggest time frame. And I wasn't even thinking about the eclipses here. But this is eclipse season there. You know, you got the Libra and the Aries eclipse season starting. And then that solar. So there's going to, in April, there's a new moon, a solar eclipse. You got that sun energy. This is on April 8th. That could be a big, you know, impact on you, or a big event that propels you forward and propels you upward in success and stuff. July, August, September. And that's funny. That's when your Jupiter thing was going through. Whatever's wanting to be released, you got to try to let it be released. That's the thing here, you know, with the Death. Let it fall away. Let it go, turn to asunder or something like that. You know, there does seem to be a little bit of, there's new things sprouting. Okay. There's news coming in time of fire, so it could be Leo time, which is late July into August. News coming, you know, things are sprouting, news is coming. And I like how these all point up to this success is going to echo out, radiate out with the sun rays to keep affecting you beyond just this point. That's what I feel. That's another thing I want to say about this, the way the sun is radiating out, and these things are all pointing up at this big success thing here. But, you know, so something comes up, and I see you. It could be pretty drastic with the Death card here. It could be a pretty drastic change, and you're kind of like, oh, you know, this is like, oh, am I ready for this? Or I've got my guard up. This says enthusiastic, but I saw superstitious there. So there's some kind of, maybe you're feeling superstitious about something. But this is also the time when that Jupiter is going over your Venus. I mean, and that's huge. So, and that was the thing when I opened the book. That's the thing that grabbed me. Oh, look at that Venus. That Jupiter's going to hit it. You know, that really grabbed me right off. So I feel like that's kind of the event of the year almost for you. So, you know, it's Jupiter could be a huge change and a huge difference. Don't be open to releasing and letting go. Be open to big transformation and big changes coming about, especially during this time frame. I love this final setup on the last of the year. I mean, you're going in succession. You're going from the 2 to the 3 to the, you know, this. So the 2 is like, I see my path. I see the way to go. I see the outlook. I've got the world in my hands, so it has huge potential. But it's like you're finally aligning with your path, which is what this whole last year, these eclipses on your node, these last couple years, and then Jupiter, Uranus, all this stuff interact not only with your sun, but maybe even more importantly in your chart is that interaction, you know, with your nodes. So that's trying to find that true north, well, maybe not find it, but align with that true north, that higher path in life, and your higher path in life, your higher calling in life, and really trying to get that all aligned. And it's moving forward. It's not just a vision somewhere off in the future. It's not just a plan on paper. You're actually, 3 of Rods, you're actually starting to see it manifest in the physical reality. You're actually starting to see the ships come in. And then I feel like this last part, the, you know, this Knight of Pentacles here, could be, well, it's a person, so totally could be some other person, some young man, you know, a earth sign young man, Taurus, a Capricorn, or Virgo. But that K is really standing out to me. So that he might have a K, like Kenny, Kirk, you know, a K name, or even his last name, Knight. Maybe his last name is Knight. He's an actual physical person holding the pentacle in his hand, you know. So it's like the vision, you know, the vision or the plan, the arrival or the success, and then it's grounded, it's rooted in the earth, it's a real thing, you know. So when I said it's a real thing, I'm hearing that song, it's a living thing, it's a terrible thing to do, it's a living thing, that's almost that same riff from that other tune, isn't it? I don't know if you, how long, really similar. But it's a living thing. Well, you know, if it's a living thing, that means it's good. To me, I'm feeling like it's saying, like, it's going to keep growing. You know, it's going to keep expanding. It's not going to just reach this point and just stop and, oh, we're done. You know, it's going to keep growing and keep expanding. You know, well, you know what we should look at before we go into the rest of this? When was that? Because I know what was your north node is at 5 or 6 degrees, right? Yeah, it's like 6 degrees. So, I mean, there's points, there's time frames and points that you can relate back to, like when Jupiter was hitting that. You know, Jupiter was hitting that 5 or 6 degrees all the way back in January here. Well, even, actually, no, it's going to hit it in January of 24. But the first pass is often the most impactful, and that would have been this past June. When Jupiter, and it went over your Mercury and it went over your Sun, it was June and July of this year. So what was brought to your attention at that time? What was this calling or this inkling? And here's the other thing I want to go back to is when Uranus was first over there. Because when the Uranus first went into Taurus and was hitting your stuff, that could be you like seeing another way to do things, seeing things from a higher perspective, seeing an alternative path to go by. Okay, so that would have been 2018. Well, the end of mid-2018, really 2018, it was just barely getting there. I want to see when it was, yeah, 2019. Here, it was 2019. Would have been summer of 2019, would have been June of 2019, the first time that Uranus actually hit your north node. Well, let's make it to 6 degrees. Yeah, July. Actually July. But, you know, and then it went July and August. So the universe was really trying to show you or open your eyes as to alternative pathways or alternative realities that could possibly come starting all the way back then. Because I'm feeling like with these sun rays and stuff, it's like it's, and this too, like this past, it's like it's echoing back, like these other, to the past, or there's been these other, you know, the universe has been trying to feed you those breadcrumbs, you know, for a while, trying to show you those little signs and little synchronicities. And, you know, with your North Node, it's your calling, you know. And I like that this is saying you're aligned with your calling, and the Magician really can be saying that too, like you're really kind of aligned with your calling. This camera looking kind of weird. It's twisting it the wrong way. Twist it this way. You're my first reading this morning, so I don't want the camera to look weird because I want you to get your screenshot. Twist it a little more, so it's not so distorted, skewed. It looks, the image looks a little skewed. There. That's a little, maybe it's not even any different after all that twisting and work. I want to get your animal totem though from Nichole. This six of, well, I'm gonna get your card, but this Six of Rods is, when I looked down at the spread just now, you know, this is really grabbing me. So there's just some kind of, where you're finally getting this acknowledgement, you know, and that's going to echo out into all sorts of other things and offer opportunities for these big changes in your life. You got the Beaver, it's a builder. Builder, dreamer, familiar friend, dweller of land and water, afoot in two worlds. Your diligence can change the flow of the river. Be the architect of your life. Yeah, when I was talking in the beginning about how you've been, you know, you've been putting in this effort, and that's this diligence, but also afoot in two worlds. You know, I feel like that's kind of tying into this card a little bit. Like you're kind of like, well, I have this thing, and then I'm going to have to leave that behind, or, you know, something like that, and, you know, back and forth, back and forth. But you're going to be firmly, there's an opportunity, and you should be firmly stepping into the next thing here with all this, you know, that whole thing I was saying about it's not a vision anymore. It's not just some goal that you're working for. It's working for. It's actually happening, and it's like a big, feels like a threshold. Hey, are you having your Saturn return or anything? Did I totally like miss that? Because you're right about that age. Did I miss that? No, you're not. You have Saturn in Aries, so you're not having your Saturn return. But you will be having, you know, eclipses in Aries. So there's going to be eclipses near your, well, I don't know if it's near 7 degrees. Yeah, not really near. Well, there'll be eclipses opposing, both the Libra eclipses will be opposing your Saturn, you know, so that's also this big pull to like get you, but you're, you know, your Saturn return isn't that far off, you know, it's maybe another year or so, so that's going to be another big milestone, but it almost felt like that Saturn return energy, like this maiden mother crone, like crossing that threshold, you know, to your third act, you know, but you're approaching it within a couple of years, and with the Saturn returns and stuff, we do feel that, you know, ahead of time. It's not just, okay, today is my Saturn return, so my whole life's going to change. You know, it's like you build into it. You know, it comes forward and you build into it. Okay. Anyways, I had some notes over here about something else, but anyhow, so this is the reading. I always do recommend, well, first of all, I always recommend, of course, watch it a couple times. Watch it more than once. Secondly, on this one, come back to it because you're going to forget what I say. We get into these later months in the year, you're not going to remember what I said back in fall of 23, you know. So come back to refresh your memory. But beyond that, you can just use the spread to ask questions and stuff the whole year round. Get a screenshot of this image and then crop it down into, you know, a nice rectangle and ask a question. Save it on your phone somewhere where you can grab it up real quick. Ask the question, pull it up on your phone, and it'll show you. You know, it'll show you the answer. You could just let your eye wander. Don't put too much thought into it, and let your eye wander. And like if there was one here, it said this, but I thought it was another. When you get those where you thought it said one thing, but it really said another thing, that's when you absolutely know that you're really getting you're really getting a message from your own spirit guides. And people tell me all the time that it's really cool and they use it and it does really work. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for ordering the reading, and I'll get it up for you later today. Then. Bye.